Have you ever walked into a room full of people and immediately felt your energy being sucked away like a vampire feeding on your soul? If you're nodding right now, you might be dealing with something that brilliant minds have struggled with for centuries. You see, there's a hidden curse that comes with intelligence. And today, I'm going to reveal 9 brutal signs that prove you're smart, but people are literally draining the life out of you. Before we dive deep into this psychological rabbit hole, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that some of the most intelligent people in history were also the most isolated? Einstein preferred solitude. Tesla was a loner. Virginia Woolf wrote extensively about the exhausting nature of social interactions. This isn't a coincidence, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your brilliant mind might be working against you in social situations. The first brutal sign that you're intelligent but people drain you is that you can read between the lines faster than a speed reader on caffeine. Your brain processes subtext, hidden meanings, and unspoken emotions at lightning speed. While everyone else is having a surface-level conversation about the weather, you're simultaneously analyzing their tone, body language, facial expressions, and the 17 different meanings behind their seemingly innocent comment about rain. This constant mental processing is like running a high-performance computer while everyone else is using a calculator. You're picking up on inconsistencies in their stories, noticing when their words don't match their emotions, and detecting manipulation tactics they might not even realize they're using. The problem is, this hyper-awareness turns every social interaction into a mental marathon. While others chat effortlessly, you're working overtime, and that's absolutely exhausting. The second sign is that you find yourself constantly dumbing down your thoughts and ideas just to connect with others. It's like being a master chef forced to serve only fast food. You have complex, nuanced ideas about life, philosophy, science, or art, but when you try to share them, you're met with blank stares or people changing the subject to something trivial. So you learn to code switch, translating your rich inner world into bite-sized, digestible pieces that won't overwhelm or intimidate others. You become a master of small talk, even though it feels like intellectual torture. This constant translation between your authentic thoughts and socially acceptable conversation is mentally draining because you're never truly being yourself. The third brutal sign is that you're exhausted by people who think out loud. While you process information internally, creating complete thoughts before speaking, many people use conversation as their thinking process. They verbally vomit every random thought, incomplete idea, and stream of consciousness rambling directly into your ears. Your brain, which craves efficiency and clarity, gets overwhelmed trying to follow their meandering thought processes. It's like trying to solve a puzzle where someone keeps changing the pieces while you're working on it. You find yourself mentally organizing their chaotic thoughts, filling in the gaps they leave, and trying to extract meaning from their verbal chaos. This mental cleanup work is exhausting and leaves you feeling drained after conversations that others find energizing. The fourth sign is that you're a human lie detector, and it's destroying your faith in humanity. Your pattern recognition abilities are so sharp that you can spot inconsistencies, manipulations, and deceptions that others miss completely. You notice when someone's story doesn't add up, when they're telling you what they think you want to hear, or when they're trying to manipulate you for their own benefit. This superpower comes with a terrible cost. You start to see how often people are dishonest, even about small things. You realize how many social interactions are based on pretense rather than authenticity. While ignorance might be bliss for others, your intelligence forces you to see behind the social masks people wear, and what you see often disappoints you. The fifth brutal sign is that you're mentally exhausted by people who refuse to think critically about anything. They accept information at face value, believe whatever they're told, and resist any attempt to dig deeper into important topics. When you try to engage them in meaningful discussion, they either get defensive or completely shut down. Your brain, which naturally questions, analyzes, and seeks deeper understanding, becomes frustrated when others refuse to engage in this process. It's like trying to play chess with someone who insists on playing checkers. The intellectual mismatch leaves you feeling isolated and mentally fatigued because you can't find the stimulating conversations your mind craves. The sixth sign is that you're drained by people's emotional inconsistency and unpredictability. Your logical mind seeks patterns and consistency, but human emotions are often chaotic and contradictory. You find yourself constantly trying to understand why someone who was happy yesterday is miserable today, why they say one thing but do another, or why they make decisions that seem completely illogical. This constant attempt to make sense of emotional chaos exhausts your analytical mind. You're like a scientist trying to study a subject that keeps changing the variables. The unpredictability of human emotions clashes with your need for logical consistency, leaving you mentally drained and emotionally confused. The seventh brutal sign is that you're overwhelmed by the sheer amount of social information you process simultaneously. While others focus on the main conversation, your brain is like a supercomputer running multiple programs at once. You're analyzing the group dynamics, noticing who's being excluded, picking up on romantic tensions, detecting power struggles, and processing dozens of other social undercurrents. This social hyper-awareness means you're working much harder than everyone else in every social situation. You're like a social air traffic controller, managing multiple streams of information while others are just enjoying the ride. This constant mental multitasking in social situations is incredibly draining. The eighth sign is that you're exhausted by people who drain your mental resources without giving anything back. These conversational vampires turn every interaction into a one-way street where they dump their problems, concerns, and random thoughts on you while showing no interest in your inner world. Your intelligent, empathetic nature makes you a magnet for these people because you actually listen, understand, and provide thoughtful responses. But these relationships are intellectually and emotionally one-sided. You give your mental energy freely, but receive nothing intellectually stimulating in return. It's like being a library that only loans books but never receives new ones. The ninth and final brutal sign is that you find most social interactions mentally unrewarding compared to solitary intellectual pursuits. While others get energized by parties, group activities, and constant social stimulation, you find these experiences mentally taxing and emotionally draining. You realize that an hour spent reading a fascinating book, working on a creative project, or exploring ideas in solitude gives you more intellectual satisfaction than hours of social interaction. This isn't antisocial behavior. It's your intelligent mind recognizing what truly nourishes it versus what depletes it. If you recognized yourself in several of these signs, you're not broken or antisocial. You're simply an intelligent person navigating a world that often demands you operate below your intellectual capacity. The key is learning to manage your social energy like the precious resource it is. Consider setting boundaries around draining relationships, seeking out intellectually stimulating people who match your mental energy, and giving yourself permission to prioritize solitude when you need to recharge. Remember, your intelligence is a gift, not a burden, even when it makes social interactions more challenging. What resonated most with you from these 9 signs? Share your experiences in the comments below, and if this video helped you understand yourself better, make sure to subscribe for more insights into the fascinating world of human psychology and intelligence.